I am Linda Pringle Evans, your host. I am excited to be here with you on today, and we have a very interesting, I must say, topic. And the topic today is, and I know many of you have asked the same question, what is a holistic business model? What is a holistic business model? And today you are in for a treat because I have a special guest who not only knows what it is, but she is one herself, and she's going to give you a ton of information today that is going to inspire you, that's going to motivate you, that is going to make you stop and think about where you are currently and where you want to go. Okay, but before we start, as always, I'd like to thank Pringle Business Consulting for providing us with this opportunity to host WomeNomics here. You know, Pringle Business Consulting helps female coaches, consultants, and service professionals who really struggle to differentiate themselves in the marketplace. And what we do at Pringle, we truly focus on optimizing your personal brand. That's right, optimizing your personal brand for peak performance so that we can identify exactly what's going to differentiate you in the industry and help you to generate more clients and more revenue. And if you want more information, simply visit pringlebusinessconsulting.com. Now, let's get to the matter at hand. The woman that I have here today to share information about holistic business coaching, the business model of holistic business models. Her name is Ms. Holly Jean Jackson. And if you have not heard of this lady, start Googling her, okay? Just Google her. And let me share some information about Holly. Holly is, as I stated, a holistic business coach. She's a speaker, a podcast host, author, and founder of Business Builder Throwdown. That's right, Business Builder Throwdown. She has dedicated over 12 years helping business leaders get their groove back physically, mentally, and emotionally. Her transformational coaching method looks at a holistic and logistical approach to success. Business owners hire her to master the art and science of real success because most lack direction. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. Lack direction, action, and results. She helps define and design a business roadmap for impactful visibility, intentional profitability, and endless sustainability. So help me to welcome the one, the only Miss Holly Jean Jackson. Welcome, Holly.
Hi, Linda. It is such a pleasure to be here. And thank you for what a wonderful introduction. I'm excited to be here.
Let me just say, I have been excited about this conversation ever since you and I met and we discussed you appearing on the show. So luckily today, here we are. And let's just dive right in, Holly. And first, I know many is wondering, they're wondering exactly what is a holistic business? What is a holistic business? Share with our listeners and viewers exactly what it is.
Yeah, so there's really two answers to this, right? So there are people in the holistic space. So think acupuncture, physical therapy, literally anything under the sun that's helping people with their health and wellness. Coaching, we have life and health coaches, amazing things, like even financial coaching. You could really think about that as holistic. So one definition would be the traditional definition of health and wellness practitioners and business owners. But if we pull back the curtain a bit more, you can create a holistic business model for any company in any industry. And the reason being is businesses are run by people. And if we don't have a holistic approach for running our business and honoring our employees and leaders, we will not be successful. So the three pillars of a holistic business model are health, clarity, and business. So it's not just about business. It is about the health of your leaders and your employees, your employee experience, your client experience. And the clarity piece is making sure your business culture and your business values are aligned to the mission and vision at stake, the values of the person who started the company, the founders, the values you're trying to honor with the employees and the customers you are serving, and making sure it's aligned to your priorities. If you're trying to build a business that is completely out of alignment with who you are as a leader, that's going to show up. You're not going to get the results you're looking for. So we dig into that in the clarity piece and the legacy you want to leave behind. There's so many pieces in the clarity side of things. And then, of course, with business, there's even holistic elements to just the business leg of creating a holistic model. So making sure you have a diversified portfolio of lead generation, a diversified portfolio of delivery methods. You can't just build your business on one platform, especially a borrowed platform. For example, if you rely fully on Facebook, if something happens to Facebook, you've lost complete control of your business. So on the business side, it's setting up the systems, the processes, diversifying that to reduce risk and having a really solid foundation.
You know, I love the explanations, the three pillars that you shared, starting with the very first one you mentioned, health, the health of the leader and client, and even your client's experience. That's so important, because if the health of the leader is out of alignment, then it impacts the growth of the business. And it's so important that your clients have that experience where I'm going to jump to clarity with your values, because your values must align with the health of who you are as an individual. I don't care if you're a major corporation or a solopreneur. It is so important that, because people now want to know who's at the top, who is the founder, who does this person values align with my values. Especially with the generations coming behind me. You know, my generation, they can market and share the wonderful parts of their business and why we should purchase from them. But the generations behind us, and it has impacted us as boomers as well, is understanding, I want to know who is at the top. Is this a company that aligns with my values? Because people want to spend money with companies, individuals that they feel align with their values, their integrity, how they view business and how business should really operate. So I love this. It's really like 360, huh?
It is. It truly is. And if you think about it, with marketing today, for example, so I do quite a bit of marketing consulting with my clients as well, and strategy. If you don't understand your ideal client, what is keeping them up at night, what's important to them, their priorities, their values.
Yes.
And if your solution doesn't align to the problem that they are struggling with, that is urgent for them, of course, you're going to have some challenges acquiring that ideal client. And these days, clients, potential clients, customers, they really care about authenticity. They care about who is, steering the ship of the business.
Absolutely.
They care about your mission and your vision. And so if you don't have that clarity, you're going to struggle in the market today.
You are absolutely correct. Absolutely. That's why I said it doesn't matter if it's a large corporation or a solopreneur. That's part, and it's part of the marketing. And how do you get yourself out there, expanding your reach and being able to share in a succinct way to your prospects, your ideal clients, exactly what it is that you do for them. You know, Holly, I learned earlier this year, I had not heard of it until, probably during the first quarter. Donald Miller's story brand, the
So
seven,
good. So
the
good.
seven framework of the new, and it's the new way of marketing. And I have been sharing it with all of my clients that once you really understand those 7 pillars for creating that content to share with your ideal clients, it makes marketing effortlessly. It really does. And you touched on this when you said about knowing their pain points, their problems. And too often we talk about us, the provider, what I can do for you, what I can do for you, instead of having the focus. And that's what marketing is today, is more on the prospect, your ideal client, talking about their problem, making them the hero, showing them how great they are, and identifying what that problem truly is that he or she has, and how you can come in with the plan to assist them to getting this problem resolved. And I thought about that as you were sharing information about the holistic business, and that aligns with story brand. When I think of it,
Well, that's the whole point, right? So even your introduction that I sent you for me, I work with business owners who lack action, direction, and results, because those are the 3 biggest pain points that my ideal clients face. Either whether they're getting started or they're scaling to that next level. A lot of people, business owners who are in the service industry, so consultants, coaches, even people in the health and wellness space, they are usually just a few steps ahead, and they're teaching something that they struggle with before. What they forget when they're marketing is that they are ahead of their clients. So they're not speaking in the language of where their clients were. You actually have to go back in time and remember what it was like when you were in severe pain, when you were struggling with building that website, when you were stuck on whatever that product is that you're providing your client, and recall why you created it in the first place. You created it to solve a problem. So speak in the language of who you used to be or where your clients are today. Otherwise, you won't reach them. And if you can do that with stories, it's even more powerful.
Yes. I love the way you just framed that. And it is powerful and elegant at the same time. And it's also the truth. That's what really helps to have effective marketing. Yes. So let me ask you this. When you're looking at a holistic business, share what are some of the pros and cons
of having a holistic business?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So in terms of pros, I feel like holistic businesses, especially ones that really invest in the 3 pillars of health, clarity, and business, the pros are they are better prepared. They have a solid foundation that's diversified to, where the storms of life, and as the economy goes through dips or things change with different platforms, they're more diversified so they can handle risk. They're able to pivot better, and their teams have better support systems and cultures that make them strong in critical thinking, so that when they are forced to pivot, because let's be real, you guys, change is inevitable. If we have not learned that in the last 2 years, you have been in a basement hiding somewhere. So change is inevitable. So if you have these 3 pillars and you shore that up in your culture, in your processes, in your leadership, you can do anything. Now, the cons of that are it takes work to set this up. It takes time to build that culture. It's going to go through that traditional storming and norming process. And so, of course, it's not perfect. And it takes a great deal of leadership investment of time and energy and effort, and finding the right people that fit your employee culture. And that is not everyone. There are certain things we can train, and there are certain values and authentic things and characteristics that we can simply not train in our employees. So as leaders, the more clear we are on exactly what our values, our mission, our vision, our legacy is, when we can attract those employees that share that inspiration and that passion, boy, you can teach them so many things and you're going to have a really, really powerful company.
I believe that. What are the cons?
Well, the cons are the effort. It takes time. It takes investment. It takes energy. It's a slower growth process. Of course, it takes more investment of capital because you're diversifying your lead generation. You're diversifying your process. You're taking that time to document what these look like. You're actually investing a lot of time and resources and energy in everything from your customer experience to your employee experience. And that's not something that scales incredibly fast. You kind of have to hit the brakes. But when you do it right, it is an exponential growth line right after that. So it takes a longer bit of time and you kind of have to hit the brakes so that you're set up for success. But once you are, it is exponential growth.
So let me ask you this, Holly. Do you find that, and since this is a show dedicated to women entrepreneurs, okay? Do you find that more women entrepreneurs, because of the internet and because they see so much information from various people talking about how successful they are, but they don't always give the true journey of how long it may have taken them to get there? And they see this individual and they feel, well, they're doing similar work to what I'm doing. But why am I not there yet? What's wrong with me? And women become frustrated. They feel that what they have to offer isn't as good as what someone else is providing. And they begin to having doubt about, am I really cut out to do this work? Am I truly a specialist at the work that I say I am capable of doing and being, an influencer? Because I hear a lot of clients saying, I want to become an influencer. So do you see that with many women entrepreneurs?
Honestly, Linda, I see this with men, women, and children, right?
Really? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, my longer term goal is building a nonprofit for children. And I've done quite a bit of research and education. And this starts at the age of 13 to 16. We see pretty negative confidence setbacks. And once that child experiences that, girl or boy, between 13 and 16, for girls in particular, 50% of them never recover from that one negative confidence setback experience. So if that happens at such a young age, of course, it affects us into adulthood. And then you amplify that with social media. We have what I call with my coaching clients, and when I'm doing trainings, I call it compare and despair. If we are sitting there and looking at social media posts and what we see online as the metric for success, and I put that in air quotes, boy, I mean, of course we are going to feel desperate and like we are failing because people are only posting the good stuff. They're not telling you, gosh, well, this morning, my dog did this, or my child did this, or I am barely hanging on today. They're only sharing the good things, the inspiration. Right. And also in reality, with marketing and branding, it's necessary to do that. It's kind of sad that you don't really see the full picture. Right. So when I'm interviewing and when I'm talking with clients, I try to be incredibly authentic. It took time to get where I'm at. And I had to plant seeds and trust the process and borrow money against my retirement for a period of time, invest funds into my business. And I just had that faith and I kept taking those steps. And it took a while to get to where I am today. And I won't lie, the compare and despair stuff was there. It was like this little character on my shoulder. I kept flicking away, like, go away, negative Nancy. But I guess my point is the inspiration in that is anybody can do this. You just need to define what success looks like for you, the legacy you want to build, and take one step every day towards that. And I guarantee if you keep doing that, even on the days where it feels like, what am I doing? Because you're not seeing the results you expect. Eventually you get momentum and those seeds that you planted flourish.
You know, something else that I have witnessed a lot of times with, and I'm not saying men don't do it either, but I work primarily with women, and they don't have a plan. They have it in their head, but they don't have a written plan that they are evaluating, you know, with timelines, tasks in it to help you to understand everything you need in order to get to where you're going. And I'll be honest, there was a time when I first started in business, I honestly thought, well, I know what I want to do, and I thought I could just get out there, do it, and I would have all these clients just coming, just chasing me down. And it was totally the opposite. And I'll be honest, my husband was constantly saying, show me your plan, show me your plan. And I would start talking. And I said, well, this is what I'm going to do. And he said, yes, I hear what you're saying, but I want to see your plan. You know, have you written it out? And then he started naming off all the different categories. And I said, well, no, I haven't done that. And he said, well, without a plan, if you don't, how did he say this? If you don't plan, you plan to fail, something like that. And honestly, it took a while for me because I had worked in corporate and I thought, well, I did well in corporate. I don't see why I can't do well in my own business. And it was just the opposite. And I share that with women. It does take time, but you need a plan. And I'm not saying that by no means do you need like a 20-page business plan. I'm not saying that. But there is the business model canvas plan. I use that with my clients so that they have a roadmap. That's what I call it. It's a one-pager, but it identifies all the areas of your business to help you to be successful. And you mentioned this, and a lot of times we don't take the time to truly identify our revenue streams. And we constantly make more products, more services, and you got a plethora of products and services, but what's working, what's not working, not taking the time to evaluate. And I tell my clients, you don't need a lot of products and services. You really don't. And I show them how we can help them so that they know exactly what are the products and services that is going to help them generate revenue that is also impacting their customers, because you want your customers to have an experience where they go out and become your brand ambassadors, just raving about you and sending more people your way. But have you found that to be an issue sometimes with
I've just been laughing this whole time because yes, I call it shiny object syndrome. And there's this big visionary moment of this is what I want, but then we need to actually plot it out. I use a few different resources when I'm working with clients to help narrow this down. And I will say it's with men and women because I work with both men and women entrepreneurs. So one of the tools we use is we build their business compass. This helps them stop backing themselves into the corner of being busy or overwhelmed and burnt out. It is basically putting together their life priorities and specifically saying what success looks like across those life priorities. And then in the other column, we have their 3 business goals for the next quarter, and just for the next quarter, not anything crazy. And then across the top, we have their big motivating factor, that long-term legacy they want to leave behind so that they're excited as they tackle these and they say yes and no to things based on what's on their compass. So they use this and they look at it. I have it as a screensaver on their computer, on their phone. They share it with friends, business partners, family, so that they only say yes to what's on that compass. Because if you're not saying no to everything else, eventually you're going to be forced to say yes to things that are going to help you grow towards what you want to build in your life and in your business. The second tool we'd use is we build their product pyramid. Now, I agree you don't need to have a ton of products, but as you evolve as a business, you eventually find gaps for your customer journey. And you start listening better to your customers and you realize, gosh, there's this problem. There's a need in the market. Nobody's addressing this. I have the skill set to solve this, or the product that's going to solve that. And this is where it fits into the customer journey. Is it the beginning, or is it the middle, or is it like my high level customers? Am I upselling them into that? So we develop their product pyramid, and we also uncover what their sweet spot is, what they love to sell the most. We also build in capacity around each of the products, especially if they're service-based. What does success look like? At what point do you need to scale and have a bigger team so you don't back yourself into a corner in that way? The third tool we use is we build their business roadmap. So similar to what you were describing, we look at their goals for the next year, only a year out, nothing insane because things change so quickly. And then we backfill. Okay, if your revenue goal is this, how are we going to get there? What lead gen tools do we need to use? What activities do we need to take place? How many sales calls do you need? What is your sales conversion rate? How are we going to achieve that? Do you have enough space in your calendar to do that? How many speaking gigs do you need to make this happen? So we literally build out and backfill what we need to achieve those goals by the end of the year. And then we do quarterly check-ins across that.
That is awesome. And that's needed. It really is. And that is truly, I would say, the roadmap to success. There's no other way. I know sometimes we would like to, okay, I don't like doing this type of work, and I'm going to put this on the back burner, put this on the side, but this is what I like doing, and this is what I'm going to focus on. But as a business, you really can't skip. You can't. You must take the time to do the work. And when you can't do the work yourself, you have to look at someone like Holly or others who can help you to do it, to be successful. Because one of the things, Holly, I learned, it was, what is this? This is October. Last month, I read an article from AARP, and it stated that 80% of women in the workforce will likely end up in poverty during retirement, whereas 33% of men may end up in poverty during retirement. But when I saw 80% of women, that's totally unacceptable. And that's why helping women in business is so important to me, and understanding that our goal with WomeNomics is to position women to age well with financial freedom. And this is why we do shows like with yourself. We have a certified financial planner who comes on monthly and give a wealth of information for women. And now we are bringing on a social media strategist who is going to help women to really understand how to use social media and digital marketing to grow their businesses. And then someone like yourself to help them to understand, hey, this is not a sprint. You know, it's not. You just don't jump in and it happens like that. It takes time. And the other is this: you cannot have the level of success you desire doing it alone. Even if you're a solopreneur, you still will need help. You're still going to need a team to help you. So I just want to say to the ladies who are viewing and may listen to this later, don't feel that you can't achieve what you desire, what your dreams are. If you can dream it, I do believe this. If you can truly dream it and see it, you can achieve it. But it takes preparation, it takes planning, it takes hard work. So if you're ready to take that quantum leap, okay, Holly, tell them how they can reach out to you so you can possibly help them.
Yeah, that's great. Well, first of all, before we get into that, one more thing I want to add on there. I will say, when I look at men compared to women, whether I was in corporate America or even just potential clients, the one thing that really frustrates me is when women feel that they have to ask their husband permission to sign up for coaching. So if you are listening to this, even if you're not the breadwinner, you are contributing in some way and you are worth it. So do not let anybody tell you no, even if it's your husband. Like, I just feel very strongly I need to put that out there. It's one thing to say, I want to let my partner know this is what I'm doing, but to ask permission, that really bothers me. So if you're here and you're listening to this, or you're mentoring other women out there that are, stuck in this way, please encourage them and support them. This is something, as women collectively, we need to come together as sisters, mothers, just friends. We have to do better. And we also need to be better at negotiating, whether it's for a speaking gig, whether it's for partnership, whether it's for in your career. Please step up, get the skills that you need to negotiate and empower yourself. So, all right. What I have today for reaching out with me right now, I have this really amazing new program that is so great. It's at the bottom of my product pyramid, so it's accessible to anybody wherever they are, whether you're getting started in your business or you're scaling to the next level. It's called the Easy Button Lead Generation Program. And I mean easy button. So if you're looking for the easy way out, this is actually great. And what you get with this program, you get an 1.5-hour session where we set up your lead generation system. It is using LinkedIn, so you do need to have at least somewhat of a presence on LinkedIn for this to work for you. You also get 3 30-minute coaching calls for implementation afterwards. You also get the content that you need for actually converting more people to connections, getting more people on calls, and there's quite a bit of detail that goes behind this program. What's great is you get the recordings from all this, so you can actually duplicate, triplicate, and do any campaign you can imagine. And I mean any campaign. If you want to be on a huge conference or a big stage that you're going after, we can set up a campaign for that. If you're trying to get on more podcast guesting, we can set up a campaign for that. In fact, Linda and I would not be talking today without this system. So this is living proof that this works. And I have clients that are doing this with raving results. I personally am noticing that a huge percentage of my lead generation is creeping up from this strategy. So if you're interested in that, you just go to hollyjeanjackson.com/easy button. And you can go ahead and schedule into a group sales call. There's no pressure. It's a group sales call. So people who are ready, you're great. We can help you. I can't help everybody, so please hop on there. And if this is a good fit for you, we'll figure that out very quickly in this conversation. But again, if you're looking for the easy button to start or scale your business on any of these areas we just talked about, referral partners, speaking opportunities, and getting more clients, this is the program for you. It works like hotcakes. It is the easiest thing that I sell in my product suite. And so I cannot wait to help more women be more impactful, have a more holistic imprint in the world. And this is how we get started.
All right, you heard it here. So if you need help, reach out to Holly, okay? And as I always share, I only bring on guests that I believe in and support. I would not bring Holly here if I did not feel what she does is of value for you. So take advantage of this. And I just want to thank you, Holly, for being here, being our guest today. What you have shared is so invaluable. It has been my honor and pleasure to have you. And I just always like to leave this message with you ladies. Create your power. You got it. You've been given power. So create your power and go out there and make the impact in the world that you have been designed to do. Because remember, you only have one life to live. Until next time, blessings and peace.